Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Reverend Dr. Don Zanghi. I'll be your teacher in Lyceum this morning. The first thing I want to say is Happy Father's Day. All the fathers out there online, any fathers here, grandfathers, fathers in spirit. It's a very special day. I asked for this date to do Lyceum on Father's Day. Lewis made it happen. Ray Carroll gave it up. A good friend, good person, so I could be here. And the reason I asked for Father's Day is because it was Father's Day 1991 when I first came to Cassadaga for a Sunday. That's 30 years. When it's happening, you don't realize that time is going by and you're working on all this. It's only when you look in the rearview mirror and look back and go, wow, what an amazing time. And there's more to come. Now, 30 years is a long time, but I can tell you there's people who've been here as long, if not much longer than me. She's sweating it out back there. It's been a long time. So it's really nothing special in the big picture, but for me it is. People have asked me, why? Why have you been here this long? Well, I can talk about how I came here, how I came to be here in the relative world. But I think anyone, especially in my class, would understand the word destiny. You're destined to be here, you're destined to be here, and I'm destined to be here. 30 years. I've seen a lot of people come and go. I've seen a lot of people come here for healing of some kind or another, stay for a day, stay for a week, stay for months, maybe years, and then leave. I've seen people come here who want to make a big change, and they're disappointed because we don't need that kind of change. We need people who want to do the work. Right, Lois? People to do the work. We go back to before I came here, moving from Buffalo, New York, at the end of 1990. And my first stop was right up the road here in this part of the land. I'll show you how close. If you go up Orange Camp and just cross 1792, a little ways up there, that's McGregor Road, that was where I was. Made a move with a young lady and a bunch of kids, talk about Father's Day. And the first 6 months was settling in, buying furniture, getting the kids into school, getting acclimated. And one day, a friend of mine who had moved to Florida about a year or so before me stopped by. And she said, I got to get you guys out. You can't be in the house all the time. So it's okay. And she brought us here on a Wednesday night. You know, the message service. People there do neat things, I don't know what. And at that time, I had a couple schools of martial arts that I owned and I was running. So I said to myself, if I go there, I'm not going to wear anything that will give away who I am or what I do. I'm not going to wear my school shirt or anything like that. And so we played around in Lily Dale, and then there was an announcement there was going to be a message service in the Forest Temple. If you've been there, you know the Forest Temple. It's outside, benches set up. And mediums got up and gave messages, and then they said the last medium for the day, he's going to give messages. Then he said, he pointed to me, I was way in the back, he goes, and you're going to be the last message of the day. Okay. What he said to me is just unbelievable. I didn't know that was possible. It's like he took my heart, stomped it on the ground, killing me. How can he know this stuff? What do you do with this stuff? You just store it away. What else can you do? So now, fast forward to that Wednesday night, and down in the temple, I can tell you it was Reverend Jerry Frederick, lives right behind here. Our late friend Jim Watson was the student. And Jim came to me with a message. Like, oh boy. And the message he gave me made absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. I don't know if it was real, I don't know if it was symbolic. I tried to place it with my sister. Nothing worked. Except about an hour later when we got home, everything that Jim said was being played out before my very eyes. The kids and Uncle Bob playing with the ball in the front yard, saying the same things that Jim just said about the bouncing ball and argument. I said, my God, this is real. Wait a minute. They said something about a Sunday church service. Yeah. Maybe it's time to get the family involved in some kind of church, since I haven't been involved since after high school. Oh, just Father's Day, too. So we come here, and in essence, I never left. From the very first time, Lyceum, church service, healing service, social hour, message service, workshop seminars, maybe some things afterward at people's homes. My first 2 years here, I never missed a Sunday, except 2 Sundays in 1993 when I was taking some classes, 2 weekends. That's where I learned my hypnosis, and I'm going to give a talk about that in Titusville this Wednesday. Never missed. And over a period of time, I was here all the time, unless I was sick, out of town, out of state, even out of the country. I was here. Now the question is why? And the only answer that I can give is to be a part of something bigger than myself. And this fits the bill quite well. Bigger than myself. It's a community. And we're all part of it. Whether you're here once in a while, more often, or you live here. Com means with. Unity means oneness, with oneness. Are we all the same? No. But there's a bottom line that covers that we're all here for something good. You want to help people. That's why you were born. That's why I was born. I realize that now. Help people. And everybody does it in their own way. And you can't critique it, you can't criticize it, because it takes the village to do it. It's like a big puzzle. Everybody's their piece. You might not know what it is, but their piece is important. Now, I'm not talking like I'm special, because the people here have been there, done that just as much as me or more. But over a period of time, I found a way to get on the board of trustees. There was an opening, and nobody wanted it. I'll take it. I'll take it. And I should go back and say the situation in the land, that ended, and they needed a place to live. So, Brigham Hall, number 2 apartment, which is now not even apartments anymore, they're offices. But a lot of people stayed there before and after. So I was in number 2, right over here across the street. And I was working on being certified as a medium. The first time I got turned down. Oh, am I going to cry and whine? No, I'll just try harder. That was 1993. And so I got myself into the program. By 97, oh no, I have to go back. Jeanette's here. Without her, this doesn't work. So I had to move, actually I had to move in there in 96. And just before Thanksgiving 96, I moved in over there. And, okay. I'm here. I'll get myself certified at some point. And I'm done with all the marriage stuff, done that twice. Done with that. And I'll just live here and do readings and do whatever I do for the rest of my life. I'm happy. But as it turns out, if you're here for any amount of time, you meet a lot of people, you talk to them after church, you have coffee with them, you sit and talk. A lot of people. And there she was. And we used to have the candlelight healing service. Remember that? You guys, some of you remember the healing service. Oh, the church is so beautiful. Turn off all the lights, candles all over. The healing stools down in front. Beautiful music. Oh, my God. And she comes and sits on my stool. Oh, like a lot of people sit on my stool. Do the healing. She was so out of it, we had to walk her back to her seat so she didn't go down. Sometime after that, she approached me at the fellowship hour. She said, I understand you do past life regressions. I said, yes, I've got an office in downtown DeLand. That's what I do. And make an appointment. Okay. January 28th, 1997, she comes in. Okay, what do you want in the past life regression? There must be a reason for it. What do you want? Oh, she says, I've had a lot of people in my life, to say the least. Males. But she said, I've been having visions about you. Now, in her book, she leaves out the most important line. I said, me? I'm just the hypnotist person. She said, well, I got to find out about things. No, she's easy to hypnotize. And we're reviewing all of these past lives, and I'm in every one of them. I mean, I'm right there with her in this regression. Well, the souls start going like this, and we go to lunch. Now, by this time, there was a lot of rumors in camp going around about who I might be seeing. You'd be amazed the names that came up. All nice people, but I wasn't seeing them. And by 4th of July, guys, we have a little picnic down by the pond. And we go walking in hand, and people are going. That was July 97. Now I have to talk about 97 because that's a big year for a lot of things. I had a chance to go to Peru, go to Cusco, Machu Picchu. That was quite amazing. I think that's the same year I went to the Monroe Institute up in Virginia. Yeah. Now we wanted to buy Warren Hoover's house, where Joan Piper lives, right next door here. We wanted to buy that house. Warren said, this is how much money? Okay. Next time, oh, I'm up in the price. Okay. Oh, I'm up in the price. I said, Warren, you don't want to sell the house, do you? He said, no, that's not the house for you. All right, at least we know. So there was Lewis standing outside of the Harmony Hall. And I said, Lewis, Warren doesn't want to sell us his house. Lewis said, I'll sell you my house. We settled on the price. We bought Lewis and Marie's house over on Chauncey Street. I'll just leave it there, Lewis. I'll just leave it there. Well, we wanted to fix up the house the way we wanted it. So Jeanette stayed at her apartment in Edgewater while I oversaw the work in the house. And it's truly amazing to me that all the work that we wanted done, somebody just showed up. So, well, we'll do it for you. Vince Owens did the washer and dryer and dishwasher. My other friend did, oh, I'll do that. I couldn't find anybody to do the wallpaper. And what's his name? I'll do it tomorrow. Carpeting, painting. We needed a chandelier. This guy Joseph, I'll do it for you. They just showed up. When the house is ready, Jeanette and the 4 cats, those 4, and there it was. Now, again, everybody has their own way. For me, being in Cassadaga opened a lot of doors for me. I mean, a lot of doors. I didn't have to open them, they opened for me. I go, oh, look, yeah, I'll do this. Some of the highlights, in the year 2000, we had a chance to go to India and Egypt. Hang out the pyramids, the Sphinx, various other places. India, see Sai Baba. I mean, wow. In 2008, back to India, northern India, to be with our guru. Absolutely incredible experiences. I think I mentioned I've been to Peru, and an opportunity to serve and do things. For instance, a couple spiritualist camps in Maine. Go up there a few times. Montreal, do some work up there. Classes and seminars and conventions in Nevada, Reno, and Las Vegas. Special training in Kabbalah in West Virginia a couple times, and once and twice in Indiana.
Sue Forbes said that if you want to know a lot more about Don, read Jeanette's book, I Married a Medium.
Yes. Jeanette, well, that's the other thing about Jeanette. Her writing started to come full bloom once she was here in Cassadaga. She used to write little articles for a local newspaper back up in New York State. And every time she writes a book, oh, this is the last one. Guess what? The one's going to the printers probably this week. Oh, man. What, 13 books? Who keep track? I think it's 13, maybe 14. A joke. She wrote a book called I Married a Medium, but now he's an extra large. Now again, I'm not talking about me from the ego. I'm just giving history of what Cassadaga can do for a person. I've already mentioned I found my way on the board, and I've been up and on the board a few times over the years. Vice President in charge, acting President, President, served with wonderful people on the board. Committees. Oh, my favorite one was, of course, Education Committee. I love being on that. Now, I mentioned Lyceum. You ought to look up the word sometime. Lyceum. When I first came here, we had 3 of them. Remember, we had 3 of them. We had a Children's Lyceum, a Junior Lyceum, and the Adult Lyceum. Well, the Children's and the Juniors was my kids at the time, and Steve Atkins' kids at the time, and that was it. And when they grew up, no more children, no more junior. We don't tend to attract families with children here. I started going to Lyceum very first day, the first Sunday, Father's Day, 1991. It used to be down in the temple before the service. Oh, we'd get like 4 people, 5 people. 3 people. One day we had 8 people. Wow, this is great. Look at this now. Look at this. Oh, I'm very happy to see so many people, so many students from my Thursday class over here. Thank you for being here. And so over here. And some of the people that were in my How to See the Aura workshop yesterday, they got the idea to be here. Thank you, thank you. Don't be here just for me. Do this every week. Because I did it every week, every week, every week. When, God love him, when Tom Berkner gave it up, Phoebe Rose Bergen took it over, I was still here, helping, doing whatever. When she stopped doing it, I just kept doing it. I just kept going. Finally, a couple years ago, the board said, well, we'll just give you the title director, just do it. These are the opportunities that can be presented. And again, not everybody has to do it my way. People work behind the scenes. Very important work. Nobody might know it. They're not as out there like some of us. But if they stop working, our foundation starts to fall apart. Father's Day. Yes, my father passed away a few years ago. A couple of years later, my mother. I have not fathered any biological children. That's you guys. You're my children. I even got a card. Father's Day card. Thank you. Or how about our Father who art in heaven? Can't forget about that. That makes everything in the world work. When I was in college, my plan, like you make a plan, right? God goes, I don't think so. And my plan was to be a high school English teacher in Buffalo, New York. How'd that turn out for me? Huh? How'd that work?
For a teacher.
About halfway through, I went to biology, majored in zoology. I was going to be a zoo director. How's that working for me? Nah, it didn't work out.
Pretty close.
Well, that's why I say one of my jobs up north was to work in the juvenile detention facility for 13 years. It's almost like a zoo. And so these opportunities are there, but again, destiny brought me here. Brought me here. Think about it. If we didn't move from Buffalo, if we didn't move right up the street, if my friend didn't stop by that day and bring us here, if I didn't get a message, but then again, you can't go by that. It's going to happen, it's going to happen, and you take advantage of it. And that's the way it is. Now, I've got a bunch of time. I'm open to questions. You guys know I love questions. So let's hear it.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Can you talk a little bit about your UFO research?
There was a time where I would have said no, I'd have gotten in trouble, but it's my day today, so I'll talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, first
That-
knowledge of the mothership.
Jacob, that goes back to high school. This is a great story. That goes back to high school. I was entering my junior year in high school, and I realized if I'm ever going to go to college, I should do something more than get average grades and run track. Which I was got to do something. Then over the loudspeaker, have your attention, the science club is going to meet down in the biology lab after school. So I turned to my friend Tony and said, well, go to the science club. It might look good going to college. So I go there, and they say, the teacher said, we're going to have election of officers for the science club. I said, okay. Somebody nominates me. My first time at the club. And I'm running against a guy who's been in it for a long time. It's a tie. The vote is a tie. So Tony goes, I'll take care of this. Don't forget we're Italian. I'll take care of this. He twists a couple arms and I end up being the president of the science club, our first day. So the teacher says, what's your platform? What are you going to do? What are you going to talk about? I said, well, I think it's important we talk about the scientific research into flying saucers. Well, he almost died right there. My poor teacher, he always had a heart attack. So I'm taking an interdisciplinary approach to it. Scientists, meteorologists, this and that. Figure this thing. That's high school. The next year, go back, senior year, go down to the science club. So we're going to have election of officers? No, you got it again this year too. So doing that. Back in those days, 66, 65, 66, 67, all there was little articles in the newspaper, maybe a cover story on Look magazine or Life magazine. Not much. By 69, the government shut everything down. Nothing. Until I moved to Florida. And everybody and his brothers and sisters involved in it. So, of course, I'm back involved. By the mid-90s, I'm Mr. UFO in Central Florida. I'm running meetings. I'm the director of the UFO Forum of Florida. If there's a newspaper article, editor goes, go see him. Magazines, go see him. Television, go see Don. Radio interviews. Unbelievable. After 9/11, I had to rethink everything, as a lot of people did. A lot of people after 9/11. And I figured out some stuff about the UFO thing, okay? I gave a talk at the Edgewater Library, our group over there, and said, after this talk, I'm done with it. It's a rabbit hole with no bottom. It just keeps going and going. But that was just another opportunity, okay? Now, I won't talk about the disclosure that's not going to happen this Friday. Okay, we can talk privately about that. I don't want to go too much further. Any other questions?
It's not a question, it's an observation.
Go ahead.
When Jeanette first came here, and she was sitting on, we were doing healing with the little round stools in the back, and she sat on my stool, and she looked up at me in this beautiful smile and his eyes bright, and she says, can I sit over on Don's stool? I said, oh, please, go. That's how this whole thing started.
She was setting the hook.
So it's your fault.
That's how this whole thing
It's your
started.
fault.
And you didn't even know it.
I didn't know that part.
I told you.
Oh, God. Oh, Lord.
That was the best thing I ever did out here.
Well, I guess thank you for that. Anything else? Okay, so it's 30 years on Father's Day. I finally did give up the Lyceum a year or so ago, something like that. Just been there, done that. It was time. It was time. I can't hold on too much longer. Even getting out of bed on a Sunday morning is getting more difficult. Turn it over to somebody else. I felt comfortable doing that. So I was not forced out. I voluntarily said, time to move on. I do miss it, but it's time to move on. But the rest of my life in Cassadaga is not, I have not resigned. Okay, so I'm a teacher. I never taught in public school, thank God, but the teacher in me is still active. Every Thursday, you guys know that, every Thursday, workshops, seminars, I see them when I'm asked. That's what I do. Everybody else has something different to do. God knows Judy's been there, done that. What haven't you done?
I haven't left Lyceum. Not going to.
That's okay. Well, you were on the board forever.
That's why I'm not running Lyceum.
Yeah, I know, but you're not associate pastor committees. I mean, look at Lewis. How many times have you been pastor now? 15, 20 times?
They don't want me out.
To be part of something bigger than yourself. I never thought of it like that until I started thinking, what am I going to talk about? I don't have any notes. But it came. Something bigger than yourself. Help people. How are you? How are you? Now, not exactly a challenge. But what can you do? Maybe you're already doing it. I think some of you are. What else can you do to be a people helper? Don't follow my lead. This is my path. If you learn from it, okay. If not, that's good too. The Cassadaga and the world can only exist by helping other people. It's not based on numbers. It's based on how well you do it.
And we must always appreciate the technical people that help you, because you're not a techie at all. At first it was Cindy Gordon, and then it was Chris Jones, and
Yeah,
now
it's Christina.
Christine.
Yeah. Well, I can't, whatever I do, I can't do alone. I can't do that. Okay? So I've always had people who assist me, whether it's in the house with my, God forbid, my computer, that kind of stuff. When I did Lyceum, we didn't have the title of assistant, but I always had people who helped me. Like you say, Cindy Gordon, who was Garzinski at the time. Don Medley helped me for a long time.
But then again, nothing we do by ourselves.
No, that's right. I'm safe.
Nothing.
No, I can't do anything by myself. Nor should I be expected to. People pitch in. It does take a little village to make a big village. Absolutely. Then we did create the assistant Lyceum director at that time when Gregory wanted it. And they called me and said, no, we're keeping you. Can you use an assistant, Greg? I said, you better believe it. I'll take an assistant, sure. Way back when Harry used to help me. Now, as far as my classes, let's count the ways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jeanette always is there. You help. Right down the line. Look at this. And the time is coming, hold on, when they start doing things, like Christina and others, they have helpers. It kind of grows like that. Marie?
I remember a big time, for me it was a very exciting time, and there was you had a whole big circle of tables around, and everyone was invited. This big circle, there was a lot of people here, because you had, I'm not even sure what you call him, but from India, and we were all eating the vegetarian soup. That was so cool, because it was so warm, and you could see everybody enjoying the soup.
Well, we do attract people from around the world.
Yeah.
I remember one Sunday when I was president, the place was buzzing with a lot of people. I had a film crew from Germany and a film crew from England tugging at me, wanting my time, because they come here knowing that there's something that they want to bring back to their country. I'm sure other people, so it's not just me, but me, Jeanette and myself, We've been interviewed by Elle magazine, the French version. I mean, this is crazy. Magazines, TV interviews. We have people over the years living here, from Russia, from Germany, from God knows how many other, England, so many other countries who come here, stay here for a long period of time. When we used to have when I used to do the mini readings and stuff, these people come to me, I had to get an interpreter to give them a reading. It's crazy. Crazy. Crazy good. That's how you learn. I'm just scratching the surface. I can sit here all day, talk about Cassadaga Spiritualist. Oh, God, that's Halloween. You guys remember Halloween? Oh, Lord. It's gotten better, I think, because in the early days, even before me, people in the community still remember all the folklore and legends about. Even Jeanette, when she first came here, her friend brought her. It's like, aren't you like witches and animal sacrifice? I said, only on Fridays, but. People used to come, it was never really horrible, but they throw eggs and they're running up and down the street calling us witches and stuff. And then Steve Atkins was running security, and I helped him. Again, we would recruit people, our friends, anybody. Cover the streets, make sure we're safe. When Steve stopped, again, I just kept doing it. Got a lot of my friends from outside, from inside, cover it. Did that for a long time. Whether we had activities or we shut down the camp, you still have to protect the place. Yeah, I was young and stupid in those days. I was chasing cars all the way up to north of the land. They were throwing bottles at me and stuff. Get out. It's crazy. But you want to protect the place. Any other questions? Come on. Don't be shy. I've got another few minutes. Go ahead, Louis.
I'll say something. I gotta tell you something that happened with Don that was really kind of cool. We were having a seminar at a place, and it was just when Men in Black had just come out. And Don was up speaking. And during the thing, it got all dark in the back, and three guys came in with glasses, sunglasses on, and black suits. And they stood there and stared at Don. And all of us in the group said, they've come to get him. And they stood there for like 20 minutes and then just left.
Wow.
All I said was, make sure you get my name right. I have no doubt that I'm in some kind of computer or some kind of file in the Pentagon or in the CIA. I have no question about that.
Do I have guilt by association?
Yes, guilt by association. It's all his fault anyway.
Yes, it is. Well, he stole the keys from the mothership from me, so we'll give him back.
The seances we used to run in the house upstairs in my seance room. Oh my God! I think that table's still bouncing around. The people. Hey, remember George White?
Yeah.
Remember George White? Lived in the area here. He used to make these metal pyramids. Okay?
And
We have
his
one.
spaceships.
Hmm?
And his spaceship.
And the spaceship for Warren, right?
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah. I used to say George White of the White Brotherhood. He made two pyramids. One's hanging over our bed, and one's hanging over the seance table upstairs. Some of you might remember that. It's almost impossible to think about all the people over 30 years who you meet and have some effect on you and you on hopefully on them, positive.
I never knew.
What?
12, 13 years ago. I came to a Sunday meeting, and somehow, and you may not know that, you may not remember, there was a workshop on spiritual healing in the Colby Temple. You may remember that I said I had fibromyalgia, and you did a healing on me. I had no idea what kind of impact that had on me, that it just, I connected with you, and I think it's because we're both teachers, but it's true. It's true. You never know what kind
No,
of
you
an
never know.
impact somebody's
And here it
gonna
is
have
all
on your
these many
life.
years later. You drove down from Jacksonville yesterday, and you're here today.
Been coming
And
for
when you
off and
when you
on
don't
13
drive down, you're on
13
Zoom
years.
for the Thursday class.
Mhm.
Well, you say I did the healing. No, I was the instrument for it.
Mhm.
Spirit works through,
Right.
right? Spirit works through.
Mhm.
But the, nice that you say that.
Just you never know.
Yeah. I was somewhere the other day. I think a little mission over here in Deltona where we get the goodies for Thursday class. And a man approached, I know you from Cassadaga. Okay. Years ago, blah, blah, blah. Okay. You can't go anywhere. It was you. All the time. We have time for one quick question if you want it, because I got to start closing up here. Get ready for the church. Okay. Forever hold your peace. Again, Father's Day. Honor thy father and thy mother. Whether they're walking amongst us, whether they're in spirit, whether you like them or not, let's not forget, if it wasn't for your father, you would not be here right now. Keep that in mind. And your mother too, of course. So, I'm honored. I look forward to another 30 years. And some of you will be here with me. Thank you. Go in peace.